looking grim for Cloud9 as Clutch have just won the last few engages resoundingly.
They still have that 3,000 gold lead, but it's starting to matter less.
Now we go again, Cataclysm over it, Golden Glue zips out of the way, Duke's gonna try and find the big ulti, but he can't quite get it yet, he gets the 2-man, but he's already dead as Rumble finds a shutdown, but again, the bot lane getting locked up. Blabber gonna take down Joey, he's going unstoppable, but that's gonna be Cody getting yet another kill. Cloud9 still trying to fight, make it 3v2 now in favor of Clutch. As they pick off Diamond, Sun still chasing Fate's goal, but he doesn't have his friends that he's bound to as Keith and Golden Glue trying to save the day.
There's too much kiting now, though. Callista and Akali are getting a little bit deadly. They're still very strong, so if you fight 5v5, the fight could still beat anyone in this game. And I think that Clutch Gaming got lucky there, that Jukes was not able to find a really big Mega Gnar. And if you see what Blabber did this time around, I think they might be just changing who they focus, and they want to get Joey out of this one. The man still has 100% kill participation out of 20 kills.
That's a lot. It's actually been a very high octane game. As the blue buff steal is stopped there by Clutch, Golden Glue will be forced out of the jungle.
For a little bit, and mostly just roast Blabber, the Diamond, who gets taken out with the Fate's Call, but the re-engage from Keith is really nice. He just gets a kite away, and because the stun nor the Electro Harpoons connect, he can just walk back swiftly.
And with Baron now wearing off, Cloud9 really did not get anything done at all as the gold lead cut almost in half. Cloud9 still up 2,000 gold, but it's 3 Drakes to 1 there on the Clutch side as Sun wants to go in. Diamond gonna get out. Oh, Sun actually popped the Fate's Call.
There we go. We see what the play is. And I think that the idea would be hit level 16 on Sylas, get a Fate's Call engage, and then immediately steal Nautilus ultimate to get another engage. Super filthy in theory. We have yet to see the execution, though.
But I will say that Clutch's general cohesion and decisiveness has been very impressive versus last split's finalists here in Cloud9 Academy. So being really put to the test here by Clutch.
Just trying to guard mid lane. Here goes Joey.
Joey again finds the 2-man, knock him into the equalizer. Cody's son takes down Golden Glue, and Blabber gonna die as well. Keith dancing around the wrong end of the fight as Diamond will get pulled up by the Fate's Call, but they want Keith that they can grab him, who will flash away from Sun.
How is Joey this good? This team is so decisive. Everything he does, they follow him up instantly. The equalizer, perfectly timed on top of the knockup, catches Akali before he even uses his Shroud. That's something you rarely see.
We talked about Jarvan Rumble, the whole champ select, but Rakan Rumble was what we should have been looking out for. Joey continuing to hold on to 100% KP. They'll break the mid lane inhibitor here. Not even needing Baron, so he puts the finishing touch on the structure. Diamond over, but Sun just goes straight onto him, and that might be another kill here. Jukes and Keith ready to fight it out, but they'll escort Sun out safely.
Baron is the target now, and Clutch Gaming do have 2 mountains. They will get spotted by that blue trinket. Here goes Golden Glue
straight in there, but a beautiful quickness there from Joey. Shuts that down. Keith gonna fall as well as Major Danger smites him after getting out of the Fate's Call.
And the fancy Zanyas, and even the taunt out of Sun. It looks like they're going for the jugular now. They're not going for Baron. They're gonna end it.
Diamond gonna be dead. Death Touch Pop actually gonna turn it back around and take down Sun. Rodov, though, going to get slammed into the wall as Major Danger looking to chase it down. It's Joey once again going to find that next kill, but a good stun is only going to delay the few precious seconds he had left.
There's 25 seconds out of Keith. I think Clutch Gaming have done it. They're going to start 2-0.
Who needs Baron? They're going to sweep the week here. They'll take down the finalists here in Cloud9 Academy. New top B damned. Their bot lane looks so damn good as they'll take down the Nexus and finish off 2-0.
So impressive out of Clutch Gaming. This game was just amazing. The decisiveness at which they found their fights was phenomenal. S tier. They looked like Griffin in how quickly they can just pull the trigger, get everybody on board, and wipe the floor with Cloud9.
Spent all our time talking about Cody being the newer acquisition to the team. We forgot about Joey.
100% kill participation in a game with like 30 kills and 30 minutes. Can you believe that?
That's more than 40 kills, I think, as that game ended. And as you mentioned, Joey involved in every single one. Man, that was a fun game.
It really was. The Rakan, now we know why Xayah Rakan is such a popular combination. When the Rakan can be that decisive, there's just no counterplay. I think that's why Rakan's W, his knockup, has been nerfed way back when it was made a little bit slower so that you could react to it. But there was no reacting out of Cloud9. They pulled the trigger every single time, and I think that Cloud9 just did not respect that Joey could do that.
I mean, everyone's like, oh, Rakan's so slow now, initiates at the speed of my grandparents. But, I mean, Joey, like, made it work. Clearly a very well-practiced Rakan. You can see the team comps there on your screen. Cloud9 had tools to try and take down the cards. We saw Blabber make a great play on the Rek'Sai to assassinate that Xayah. Like, they had an Akali. There's plenty of dive-in assassins to try and get the job done, but not enough to get you over the top. We'll take a look at some of the highlights here from the game. First things first, Blabber started things off right in the mid lane. But Joey made it look even better here in bot lane.
This outplay was exceptional. Immediately turning onto the Rek'Sai. Yes, they burned the teleport, but it doesn't matter. It's all about that mental game. If your Rek'Sai got outplayed this hard, and this was the big one for me out of Clutch Gaming, the fact that they were able to manage juggling, diving so many people for so long just shows that this team is all on the same page, and that is aggression, that is being relentless. This is the fight that Cloud9 Academy got to win, and they were able to turn into a Baron. But this fight, okay, you got the Baron out of that one. Yeah, Blabber assassinated Cody's son, but what they were able to accomplish with the Baron was little to none because of what we're about to see here. They just were not able to withstand Clutch Gaming's decisiveness and ability to turn onto the very people that are engaging. That was what is key, because when Clutch Gaming engages, everybody follows up instantly. Whereas Golden Glue goes in, there's nobody else to back him right away, gets immediately deleted, fight's over.
Never have I seen an assassin with a shroud get so destroyed as I did just then. I mean, Joey's like the heads up play to just turn on quickness defensively, knowing the Akali's going to dive you and just stand on top of your AD, basically like, I don't know, like a tower, I suppose, just guarding your marksman.
Yeah.
And then as soon as that happened, they blow up Golden Glue and the fight's over.
And Sun was a beast as well. He found that fight in the mid lane, stealing the Sylas ultimate and focusing Keith down. So they really utilized Nautilus against Cloud9, which is the power of Sylas. This is why we see Sylas being a first pick every single time. And they gave up Akali for Sylas because they had this in mind.
And I mean, again, I think the whole comp really working for me there. I mean, Rumble, not a champion we see that often, but certainly when you use him well in combination with your other champions, these are the kind of games you get.
I think you're going to start to see a lot more Rumble around the world. His ability to fight early, to win lane or split evenly is unparalleled. Doesn't use mana and combos well with pretty much every other engage in AoE. Look out for Rumble.
I think you can also play him in mid lane. Like, there aren't as many matchups where you're happy to play
Jungle
him.
Rumble. No, seriously, you can flex him.
Triple flex.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, I've seen so many strong flexes. Perhaps Rumble is the next one on the horizon, Crumbs.
I think that a team like Optic would definitely do it.
Well, we're headed for a break, but when we come back, it's FlyQuest Academy versus Golden Guardians Academy. You're watching the NA Academy League. Nice hook there from Diamond. Ignite onto Joey as well, who's going to have to dance away. Golden Glue there, but Blabber's also around. So I'm going to get tagged by the E, and that's going to be first blood over to Akali. Joey again, going to finally outplay the Jarvan Doc locked up too. Rek'Sai ulti is going to get the kill, but Golden Glue going to be locked up here as well. Diamond too late to try and save his teammate. Blabber also diving back in. The ulti on Cody kills. Not enough though as Blabber finds the stasis, and Cloud9 going to win the back end of the fight. His son with a good 3-man, 4-man ulti.
Will get spotted by that blue trinket. Here goes Golden Glue.
Golden Glue straight in there, but a beautiful quickness there from Joey. Shuts that down. Keith gonna fall as well. Welcome back, LCS Academy. We're gearing up for FlyQuest Academy. We'll be opposite the Golden Guardians Academy. Now, in the spring, GGS's LCS team had a huge surge after completely revamping their roster, and it looks like Golden Guardians Academy plans to do the same.
You've got some very familiar faces. In fact, both of the familiar faces have come from CLG. You've got Darshan in the top lane now, who previously played on CLG last split, and then you've got Huhi, who was a mid laner for 100 Thieves, and is now playing support. But in his bot lane, he will be playing alongside Deftly, not with FBI, who is well on his way. It is definitely the time to reverse that 8th place curse with so much LCS talent involved.
Big revamp there as FlyQuest Academy also have a big name support of their own as they will field Wadid.
Yes, Wadid is a vocal support with a lot of hype. He comes from Europe and he had a rough split over at Rogue, but before that, he was on G2, who is definitely a very storied team. So I think they're definitely going to be very happy to have Wadid on his team.
All right, with that, let's review the starting lineups. On the blue side, it is FlyQuest Academy. In the top lane, it's Engo. In the jungle, it's Maxi. In mid, the new mid laner Strompest. In bot and support, Eri and Wadid, and their coach, Mango.
And over on the red side, it's Golden Guardians Academy. You've got Darshan in the top lane, Hard in the jungle, Palafox in the mid lane. On bot lane, it's Deftly, and his support, brand new to the support, it's Huhi with the coach, Inero.
And I think Huhi is, of all the players I might have expected to do a role sort, I think Huhi's actually a player that qualifies quite well. He's, he loves playing fill and solo queue. He loves dueling with people, like basically refuses to play solo queue without a friend because that's the kind of player he is. He was always very supportive and enabling sort of mid laner. So I think he's probably played quite a lot of support, at least in solo queue.
It makes a lot of sense. He was never the guy to carry a hard carry from the mid lane. He was always about, I'm going to influence the side lanes. Remember when CLG beat the Coup Tigers? It was with Aurelion Sol, Huhi roaming to the bottom lane to help out Doublet at level 1. So Huhi has all the experience in the world in how to snowball everybody else. I think he has a great role here as a new support for Golden Guardians.
We've also been peeping his stream. He's played quite a lot of Yuumi as well, so that will be banned away on the blue side by FlyQuest Academy as we kick off the draft. And Araya is probably going to be a mainstay ban alongside Akali, who also is going to get the hammer here.
But let's see if the Sylas is going to go through, because the Aatrox once again keeps rising in priority. Maybe Collegiate knew something that we didn't. All I'm saying is it looked really good when they did it.
Have to agree, again, can flex it into the jungle, commonly played top laner. Seems to be kind of back on the menu here as FlyQuest. Curious what this third ban's going to be. They'll continue taking away the flexes as Aurelia will be taken off the board.
Well, Sylas is still up. That seems to be the pick that Golden Guardians is thinking about banning right now. Do you want to take the Sylas and maybe trade for a Xayah Rakan that we just saw how strong it was from Clutch Gaming? Or do you just let everything go through and then just try to fight for some scraps or a cohesive composition? Instead, Olaf will be banned.
Wow. All right. Olaf going to be taken away from Maxi. So see what the first pick is here. Sylas makes the most sense. Jace also left up though, so they'll take the Jace.
Yeah, it's a Jace trading for Sylas, but you also get a Rek'Sai to go alongside him. So Rek'Sai really good at punishing that Jace in the top lane. If you can just sneak around from behind him, it's a really good route against the Jace, especially once the flash is down. So yes, the Jace is a lane bully, but he's up against a very challenging jungler.
They left this up too. I forgot about this. I don't know if they'll pick it, but Sonatarek is available.
This is still a thing, isn't it?
It's still a thing. Sona was banned in the last game. I almost forgot about it because it was like the last ban on blue side, just to make sure it didn't happen. But they're going to lock in the Sona at least.
Well, the good news is that for most teams that have recently been playing Sonatarek, they have failed at the execution. They've been punished brutally every single time, and Golden Guardians has yet to show the bottom lane. So they always have options to go against Sonatarek. It's not like they've already shown Xayah Rakan, and that's what they're going to be playing. They could do things like Blitzcrank Varus, which we've seen be really effective against this lane. You can always hook him, you can get him out, and there it is! Bam! Varus. Let's see who he go with that Blitzcrank. We might even see Fly Academy have to ban the Blitzcrank to protect the Sonatarek.
Well, there's the Varus for definitely, so we'll move into phase 2.
Already called 2 champs on red side on the first
Look at you. Truly the prophet. As Golden Guardians thinking long and hard about this 4th ban overall, the first here in phase 2. And it is Kindred, so continuing to take aggressive junglers away from Maxi.
Yes, it's a matchup that's really good against the Rek'Sai, because Rek'Sai tunnels in and you just hop away. drop that E on Rek'Sai, you can't get hit by the knockup, and you're eliminated right away. The ultimate that Rek'Sai drops, you can always use Lamb's Respite to prevent anybody from getting executed, so it's super powerful against Rek'Sai, and that really is the only reason why you ban it. On top of it, Olaf is also really good into the Rek'Sai, so I think that Golden Guardians showed their hand a little bit early, but still, they got away with a great jungle match.
Yeah, trying to protect the Rek'Sai, working out so far as Nautilus will be banned away. And there's Hecarim also going to be taken out of the pool. I guess Nautilus kind of falls into the Blitzcrank school of trying to beat up Sonotarik.
Pretty much. I do like the Blitzcrank a bit better because of the silencing ability. It's not as telegraphed as, oh, the depth charge is coming in, pop all your ultimates. Golden Guardians, on the other hand, is banning Hecarim and Kindred, all the junglers that synergize really well with Fly Academy's composition. However, Sejuani can still be very viable here. Being super tanky and allowing a third party to engage makes it a lot easier for Sona and Taric to do their job. They don't have to balance, do we use ultimate, do we not? You have a beefy front line that makes it so much easier for you to understand what your timings are when it comes to utilizing that ultimate end. Let me just say, that's a Vel'Koz flex.
Yes.
That's a Vel'Koz that could very easily be a support.
I like it. Again, I mean, the fact that he's getting credit for Thresh, given that he just hooked the support, is actually pretty impressive.
That's true. Wow, good for him.
So we'll see what happens here in these next two picks. The LeBlanc over for Strompist. Been a player that's been up towards the upper echelons of Challenger for quite a while. Both in solo queue and in the league. He played in Challenger many years ago now and has hopped around the amateur scene as well. Now landing on FlyQuest Academy, and also Jarvan continuing to stay popular today will be the pick there for Maxi after losing many junglers.
It's really interesting that they've opted with Jarvan and LeBlanc. With Jace, you're so strong in the top and mid part of your match, but bottom lane is just so darn weak here. So Fly Academy is very telegraphed as to what they're going to be doing, and we have already figured out what Golden Guardians is going to be doing. That's a Vel'Koz support.
That is a Vel'Koz support for Huhi. Never left mid lane. Just pick. I mean, this was a signature champ for Huhi.
That's the story. That's the story of 2019. All these mid laners just going to other roles and playing mid lane champions, and then say, "Oh yeah, I'm a support player." Like, no, you're just an estranged mid lane.
Even as Ignite, I love it. As Poppy, the last pick there for Darshan, gonna try and absorb the pressure from the Jace, and then you can really kind of bully the Jace around in the 1v1 as well.
Well, consider that. Let's say that Varus goes Hope, right? He doesn't go Lethal Tempo, goes Comet. That's so much poke out of the bottom lane. Between Vel'Koz and Varus, you're going to get anybody out of the lane. And when you start going into the team fights, you hit a few pokes, you got a Morellis, you got some healing reduction that Sona and Taric might not be able to withstand all that damage just based off of their healing.
It is Glacial Augment support Vel'Koz here for Huhi. So this is going to be a fun one. Eri and Wadid on the Sona and Taric, which we haven't seen too often here.
Lots of innovation out of the bottom lane. I love that we are getting to see all these picks that are typically in solo queue be played at a more serious level, because it gives merit to what you see in solo queue. If you can actually get away with being mechanically sound in a lot of picks that you rarely see at higher stages, you can definitely play them. It's just a matter of putting in the hours and being good.
And I think, again, players being rewarded for their flexibility. You know, a player like Huhi who's played, you know, mid primarily through his career, but loves to play different champions, loves to experiment, loves to play fill in solo queue and just get whatever role he's handed to. Certainly, this is the kind of player we would expect to play something like Vel'Koz.
How long until we see Aurelion Sol support?
I would say whenever they are absolutely locked for playoffs or absolutely locked out of playoffs would be the most obvious time to see Aurelion Sol support.
That is the best answer.
Huhi actually hanging out in a bit of brush. Might be a late invade here for Golden Guardians. Maxi going to put down the flag, but knows immediately that his red's getting invaded.
It is going to be that late invade, and let's see what they try to do with this, because Maxi always has flag. He can always check that brush. They are going to commit to contesting this, it seems.
Red actually going to reset there. Huhi continuing to try and throw poke, does hit Wadid and get some money off the Spell Thieves. We've also known, we can see, and now Fly can see that Golden Guardians are moving their AD down to the lane right now.
This is so annoying out of Golden Guardians, just stalling Jarvan forever, trying to make sure that the junglers don't affect any matchup.
That's longest invade in history.
That's gonna hurt Darshan in the top lane. That Poppy wants the junglers to help.
Yeah, actually, Darshan, you can see already hitting a little bit of damage there in the 1v1 as Huhi continuing to invade here and try and pressure down. Every auto helps here. He's going to get that gold deal, now gets stunned, but winning the 1v1 versus Wadid's Taric. And the ward's going to time out, so now they don't even have vision in this brush that they're trying to pull the red buff into. And Palafox is pushed away and rotated down.
And that's because Hard got to start with his sweeper, got rid of the ward. Maxi's in trouble.
Gets ignited, that's the stun, and that's easy first blood. Silas just swoops in for the kill, and the red goes over to Hard.
An entire minute was spent just dancing around the red buff, and FlyQuest did not come up with a good solution. They lose out to the crazy poke that Huhi could provide, end up losing the red buff, give over first blood to the mid lane, and now the man gets 3 buffed as well. This is the worst start for Jarvan that he could have possibly imagined.
Nice. Like, it looks kind of silly when it started, but honestly, a really nice invade there from Golden Guardians to have a plan, stick around, and know that, you know what, our Varus is strong enough at level 1, our Vel'Koz is strong enough at level 1, kind of abusing how weak Sona Taric are in the early game.
And Jarvan as well, super useless level 1. Just flag? Come on, that doesn't do anything to anybody. At least the crab spawns at the same time.
Like Sona.
He went back and then put in the reps to understand what to do in these situations. And for future reference, the right call is identify whether you can fight level 1, and if the answer is no, get the hell out of there. Go somewhere else. Go start another camp. Your best bet is just starting in the other side of the map. So you would have gone to blue, or maybe even go ahead and try to steal the red buff on time, because as Jarvan, once you hit level 2, you combo out of there and you're safe. Whereas the Rek'Sai, she can't follow you. She doesn't have tunnels at level 2. So Maxi will get to look over these VODs and figure out what the right play would have been in the future.
2 TPs here in mid lane as well. Palafox is already in Strompest, just back down to mid with his. We'll try and play wave clear battles. Nice chain timing there for Strompest as the minion does fall. So Hard continuing to find pressure here. Does spot Maxi on the Krugs.
Maxi's actually a level up on Hard now. He's level 4 to level 3. What?
Yeah, Hard still left that blue buff up, I think is the main reason. Kind of figured he could get the blue side jungle anytime. It has the entire side up right now.
I guess I'll just wasted so much time.
Yeah, I think just knows that, you know what, I have vision. I want to keep tracking the jungler, and actually going to go down for a very early Ocean Drake here with Palafox pushing mid and the bot lane also getting their push in. This is a very easy objective for Hard to start early.
So he's going to fall behind probably a level and a half by doing that, but the trade-off is massive. This dragon is the best dragon possible at an incredibly early time, only 45 seconds after the camp, after the dragon has spawned. And when you have a Poppy that's just suffering to poke from the Jace, when you have a Vel'Koz and a Varus in the bottom lane, the fact that they regen health and mana is just going to make their lane so much easier, and they might even get to the point where they win these lanes.
You can see Maxi with the Raptors coming back up, does steal them as Hard finally looks to complete the rest of his jungle.
See, all I know is I watched a video where Faker said his favorite dragon was Ocean, and ever since then, it's all about Ocean.
Oh, Palafox gets knocked up. The chain lands again from Strompest, and he stole the chain there, did Palafox. Gonna keep trying to fight here. Hard also maybe gonna turn it back around. Flashes in, gets the knockup, and Palafox actually finishes off the kill.
What kind of baloney is Silas? The fact that this hero can do that, no other champion does that. He survives for so long. The Conqueror proc even happens from Maxi, but they're not able to secure the kill onto Palafox. Man, that must have been a frustrating gank because they did everything right. They chained everything together, but the healing was just way too much.
Yeah, didn't have Ignite in the mid laner, maybe costing him that kill. But still, I mean, I agree. I think Palafox very lucky to be alive, but Hard continuing the gank train. Darshan looking for the slam. Flashes, but a little late as Engo is able to flash out.
Yeah, a little bit too slow from Darshan, but the idea was nice, being able to combo that stun onto the Jace. Let's take another look at what Silas does in the mid lane again. So Strompest is at half HP, lands the first chain, immediately Jarvan follows up, hits the damage of the flag, hits the Q, just autoing back and forth, bam, everything's fine, more healing, okay, still healing, and then they trade places, flashing simultaneously, makes it look really cool.
Nice magic trick there at the end,
right?
As they simultaneously swap places. You can see what Palafox was trying to do too, wanted to steal the distortion. I don't know why I'm handing out Silas packs today, but today, this game Silas pack is that you only get the ability that LeBlanc last used. So what her ulti would be when you steal it. So tried to steal Distortion, got chained in stake as Strumpus timed it so well, and chained the wrong way, didn't hit anyone, and still lived.
You want chains or Distortion, you definitely don't want the Sigil.
Yeah, Q's real bad as Palafox.
All right, here we go. Another invade onto the red side. They've got 2 wars, one at the Raptors, and Rek'Sai is coming through a control war. 2 control wars have now been committed. This red belongs to Golden Guardians.
And again, nice re-invade here to take the buff once more. Hard still has that blue up, by the way, unless that's a respawn. No, it can't be. They took it so late.
Yeah, that's definitely his first.
That's the first blue. It's gonna be that's the squishiest blue buff I've ever seen.
All right, I mean, that's one way to do it. I guess he's more concerned with making sure that Maxi does not get off to a good start. And so far, the plan's been working. That's an 0-2 Jarvan.
Yeah, actually, maybe fancies a different blue buff here. He's going to look over to the right-hand side. There is a control ward that we know about in that brush, but Hard hasn't checked it just yet. However, with Palafox roaming over, doesn't seem like they can do too much. Darshan can come down if he wants. Engo can't really do much on his own. And Maxi going to go over and check, and luckily for him, there is a blue buff for him to take.
Yeah, very nice out of him, and now he's going to be able to ding 6 out of that one, so great stuff. At least answering because they had that vision. And now Hard and Darshan are thinking about diving Engo, but without a minion wave, this would be very risky.
Yeah, Engo did the right job there, meeting a minion wave immediately, trying to clear it out as fast as possible. Maybe too far forward here, though. No flash does get the knockback, but Darshan going to find that stun into the wall. Hard going to follow up, and that's an easy kill for Rek'Sai.
Okay, he made it way too easy. You knew what they were trying for. He overextends, and the fact that he uses the Q on the minion wave is the ultimate sign of disrespect.
Ooh, Strumpus actually gets caught out of Distort, but back towards the chain. Oh, he grabbed the wrong thing. You don't even get an ulti out of that one.
What did he get? He got Sigil of Silence?
You get nothing. He hijacked the clone.
Oh, he missed the ultimate. I didn't know you could do that.
Apparently you can. That's the only way, I
Silence
guess.
Facts.
Thank you for subscribing to Silas Facts. As Palafox continuing to push things in. Strumpus trying to defend where he can, but Palafox just pushing the lane and roaming with his jungler. Kind of been the story of this early game so far.
Here we go. More focus to the bottom side of the map. Now that Poppy has that chain vest and Ninja Tabis, she's going to be more than fine going up against the Jace. So it's a matter of now punishing the Taric Sona, the most dreaded bottom lane at the moment.
I mean, it's funny. I thought we'd watch more of this lane, but the game is just so action-packed with all the jungle movements that really just been definitely farming up nicely. And Arian Wadid trying to scale up towards that mid and late game. Palafox going to look between the turrets here. Does cancel the back.
Nice.
Ooh, nice. Knows the distance for the aggro. Engo, though, down here. Going to run towards Hard as Silas goes right, but Engo just here to clear the wave and make sure Strumpus come back, which clears up room for Hard to start the next Drake.
Yeah, they have the bottom lane pushed in, mid lane is pushing, and the Jace has to make his way back to the top lane from that roam middle. So this is a nice little timing out of that dragon, and Golden Guardians Academy have been on point when it comes to this objective priority. They have been getting plates in mid, plates in bottom lane, 2 dragons in under 12 minutes, and those are some of the best dragons you could get at this stage. You're not too worried about a mountain, Baron is not up, dragons are very easy to take, and as long as you're continuing to shove out the lanes, you're going to cash in your plate money, so you're not worried about doing it faster with mountain.
And the cash in is real. They have 4,000 gold ahead, mostly from plates and a couple kills. Like, that is a very significant gold lead, given that no turrets have been taken.
It's all about pushing lanes at this stage in the game, and if your lanes don't inherently do so, it's about getting them to the point where they can, such as the case with Darshan and Engo. You get the Poppy strong, Jace has no kill pressure.
Really nice solo kill from Palafox.
He disappeared. He didn't even burn his flash. I don't think he even knew that Palafox could do that.
Pretty much died in the very small CC window there as Palafox stole the distortion that time around.
And you know that it's all because of the gold and item discrepancy. That's a completed Proto Belt, a completed Sorc Shoes versus just scraps out of Trompets. They're the same level, uses the distortion from LeBlanc, really well timed, immediately follows up, and then the chains trigger on the second little activation to finish him off.
It's funny, you're like, you know what? He's only got 1 dash, I'm gonna be safe. He's like, no, I stole your dash. That's Palafox. Really nice kill. Hard also enough room after that to take the Rift Herald, so that plate money cash in could come through, but just under 90 seconds. Grab the extra gold, but hey, first turret will also give bonus gold as Golden Guardians want to continue to snowball this lead.
It's such a funny Vel'Koz skin. That's the April Fool's.
What do you mean? That's not Vel'Koz.
Definitely not Vel'Koz.
Darshan and Engo doing battle. Darshan going to cancel that Q. Popping up the steadfast presence. Darshan now realizes that he's probably going to win the fight, or that Engo stepping on the shield is going to force Lollipoppy away. Stromfest also not spotted on the ward just yet. In fact, walking back to mid means Darshan is safe in his 1v1 for now.
Yes, this Poppy is starting to become really obnoxious because the Jace will need a very specific itemization to be able to win the side lanes. That's going to be a Blade of the Ruined King. Without that, you're not going to be able to beat the Poppy as the game progresses, because she's just going to get tankier and tankier, and you're not going to be able to stay trading against her. So Engo has a long ways to go. Even though he's got Conqueror, there's just too much armor on the side of Poppy, and even the gank with Jarvan's not going to help. The man also does physical damage.
First turret dead as well in bottom lane, and the Rift Herald still up now for hard as Golden Guardians collect all the plates in the bottom half of the map. Darshan going to line up a stun here. TP in from Engo, a little bit reckless there. Going to get Keeper's Verdicted up. That's almost solo as Palafox here to finish up the job. Throw him in, Proto up popped, and see you later.
That's just too easy. There is no respect out of Darshan. He's thinking that Poppy's just going to let that happen. Now there's a Rift Herald in the mid lane. 2 towers immediately taken by Golden Guardians, shooting for 3. Can the poke from Huhi and Deftly be enough to take down this objective? So far, so good. Poppy and Sylas are collapsing, and the gold has spiked even further. There is almost a 9,000 gold lead from Golden Guardians at 14 minutes, Pastry.
They stole the Jarvanot as well. They're going to dance the Herald in and break this mid inhib. Sonar Turret so late here as Stromfest going to get tagged up by Hard. They'll dive just to poke them off the turret. They'll open up the space in the inhib, and Shelly charges in. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
They are going so ham from mid lane. I think it's actually good that they don't take that inhibitor. It's way too early for you to be able to convert more of the map. The dragons are yours. You don't have Baron spawning anytime soon, so it's a good play. They're going to the Palafox, but he has Flash.
Yep, has the Jarvan ulti as well, but flashes out. Is at least forced to burn the summoner as Huhi providing cover fire there with the Qs. Knock up not going to hit onto Engo. Finally, there'll be a bit of a break, and it's been a pretty action-packed game, I can tell, because Definitely's not that hungry. He's got 4 biscuits still sitting in his inventory. That's all of them.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing out of Golden Guardians, though. They have put the pedal to the metal and have not slowed down. This is the push in the mid lane, answering that death into the top part of the map, and there's just no wave clear. Sona and Taric are so far from being relevant in this game that Golden Guardians can get away with doing this. There's just no damage to answer this push. That. Even going against LeBlanc, I think that if Darshan was able to make it on time, they would have been able to get Stromfest as well. Because I think the idea is stop the distortion and then Rek'Sai ultimate to finish him off.
And definitely Bladed Ruin King, Berserker Greaves into QSS. So straight for the offensive QSS. Can afford to take about a 1,400 gold detour because of how far ahead the team is.
I mean, if you were to count Sona as his counterpart, she's got nothing. She's got mana and, what, 2 amp tomes worth of AP, maybe 3 if you count the spell thief, so she's not doing a whole lot.
I mean, if you combine the CS that Sono and Taric have shared, definitely still ahead by 10 as Darshan and I'm actually going to get the stun. He's currently in a 1v4 as Ari finds the ulti. Dazzle going to land for the stun as Wadid lines up the next bit of CC. Keeper's Verdict pushes them away, and Darshan is going to escape, I think, as Stromfest going to keep trying to chase Darshan. Jukes back around, dances in, needs to go into the shield, but can't quite find it. In the meantime, though, Golden Guardians Academy pushing down the bot lane.
That was so unnecessary, but still got so much because his team is getting an inhibitor in the bottom lane. They cracked the base at 16 minutes. That's a 10,000 gold lead. Yeah, okay, maybe a few hundred here and there, but still, they cracked the base, and all because Darshan got so much pressure in the top part of the map.
Maybe a minute or two too early because Baron's not spawning for 3 minutes.
Yeah, and now a third ocean, or second ocean dragon, a third dragon altogether though, and that's because they've been getting these almost on spawn. They can just reap all the RNG benefits out of this mythical creature.
Unfortunately, I guess for FlyQuest Academy, they're happy to have 1 kill because that's the only thing preventing Golden Guardians from having a perfect game.
You're not happy about that. Like, all right, at least we did it.
It's the worst consolation prize ever. It definitely takes the red buff. Things just going from bad to worse here for FlyQuest Academy. The new and improved Golden Guides Academy looking very good to open up this week.
Looking deadly. Creative drafts, good execution, and really punishing Maxi. Jarvan was not able to get off the ground at any stage of the game, and Recibe just did so much work. Once the lanes got going, once the patchwork happened, that Poppy was able to survive, that Silas got ahead, you knew that Varus and Vel'Koz were going to crush that lane, so they fixed all the points of pressure and then just kept pulling the trigger.
For how much they did in the early game with Hard supporting him, I think for me, Powerfox has been the real star of this game. Was there for the early invade to get the first blood and just snowballed the mid lane. He's ahead 30 CS in his 1v1 and has been consistently roaming around the map as well.
Yeah, he has been great, but I want to give a little bit of credit to the entire team because I think that they've executed this plan well. Hard is getting an engage onto Airy, and they get a flash out of that.
Yep, they'll take it. Hard doesn't commit the ulti, realizes that diving into the enemy base, not really necessary. So just happy to take down even more structures. Darshant and Huhi back together again. Gonna push up here in top side, and that's gonna be tower number 8 going over.
And look at the vision that is around the red side, the blue side of Fly.
4 control wards.
That's right, 4 control wards. They don't even need to pit.
Long range chain. Strumpet's gonna get chased down. Powerfox stole Distort again, and just gonna wait it out. Forces the flash with the Proto Belt. Not a 1v1 Strumpet wanted to take. That's what he's taking pictures.
Well, what else could you do?
Exactly. It's kind of you're just admiring the scenery at this point for FlyQuest Academy.
As a Tarek, like, how are you supposed to orchestrate a win here? What do you tell your team? All right, guys, let's hope we can steal a Baron, maybe?
Engo, gets out of there. Good Thundering Blow. And the flash re-engage here for Maxi. Ulti out of Sona as the Tarasol pops as well. Darshan going to try and lock up Wadid. Darshan still chasing. Pretty tanky. Pops to keep his verdict. Wadid though into the stasis. Engo going to be the target. Will be shut down by Powerfox. Hard going to get the next kill. Strumpfest diving in, but he gets stunned instantly by Darshan. But Rex had to grab the double. Powerfox finds the dunk, takes down the Jarvan with his own ulti, and Airy is going to complete the ace there. Golden Guardians Academy going to find the ace and the win.
And right at the 20-minute mark, barely even giving enough time for FlyQuest Academy to accept that surrender vote. It's a complete stomp, 1-10. This game was completely lopsided. Golden Guardians, this game was yours.
From the level 1 invade onwards, Golden Guardians had complete control of that game.
Yeah, they had a plan. They recognized, all right, we're going to shut down the Jarvan, make sure he doesn't get anything. Make sure he doesn't start with red buff. That way his level 2 cheese ganks can't happen. And then from that point onward, it just snowballed so quickly. That Rift Herald push, 3 towers and half an inhibitor, that's the best Rift Herald value ever.
Yeah, it's just, you don't get the Nexus dance. That's like the only thing you're hoping for at that point.
Or Baron.
You don't see much better Rift Heralds at that point. I mean, they didn't need Baron in that game. It barely had time to spawn before they won the game.
Wow.
The game ended like 5 seconds after Baron spawned.
Yeah. 5 seconds after you could type surrender to 4-1.
You can surrender at 15 now. Oh, 4-1, that's true.
Yeah.
There's always one person.
There's always I still believe.
Well, tough game certainly for FlyQuest Academy, but Golden Guardians Academy, I mean, I heard Ole in an interview last week actually talk about how much he loved the Academy team. He was talking to Travis and said, I love all these players. I think they're really strong. I think they have potential to crack the top 4 in Academy, which is tough given how strong the top 3 teams are. So I have to say, like, it's only been a few games, but already you can see the power of this roster.
I mean, the second we knew that the players were coming in, Darshan and Huhi, existing synergy from an LCS winning team in a top and bottom lane with kind of newer players everywhere else, of course they're going to succeed. And so I think that it was a smart pickup, and I just want to see them ride this wave and continue to improve and see what they can do and how it starts impacting the LCS team from the Golden Guardians.
Also, I mean, definitely playing as well, has also S experience. So, but while FBI is still getting his things organized to be able to play, you can certainly tell that, yes, I think general strength is there for Golden Guardians, whereas FlyQuest, so, rebuilding some pieces, clearly trying to get their players in, but still, like, the amateur players that they've brought in and that they're kind of training up in Powerfox and Hard, I mean, they've stuck with them in this organization. They've put some veterans around them. They're trying to build up a new AD carry. Like, all the pieces are there for not just the veterans to, prop the team up and give them a much better result than they had last split, but to also, train your younger players into LCS caliber players, which is kind of the point of Academy.
I think that's the best ratio. And to hear more about that win, I'd like to welcome Huhi to the broadcast via Skype.
Our new support. Hui, how you doing?
What's up? Hello, guys. I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. How are you liking playing support?
I mean, at first I was kind of worried because it's like pretty different role, but right now I'm actually like really enjoying it. I'm glad that I made this step. It's just really fun to communicate like with your AD carry, and like it's just such a different role. So it's like I have a pretty fresh mindset.
How much time have you spent playing support so far before this game?
I'll say
honest.
I'll say it's been a month or a little bit more than a month. Yeah, like it was like at the off season when I was like slowly starting to play other roles like jungle or support. I was like giving half effort on both, and yeah, towards the end of the off season, that's when I decided to going for support, and that's when I started playing support.
And I know you've played quite a bit on stream, at least with FBI, who's not able to play in the Academy matches just yet. So how much practice time before these matches did you get with Deathly?
With Deathly, I think whenever we do internals, like we have a lot of chance to even talk to each other, like player versus player, and also like we did like had some like roster swap. So it was like we already kind of played before, so like it was pretty easy. Like I know what I was getting, you know. So
we get to see a lot of people play weird things in the bottom lane, like G2 playing Syndra, BG2 playing Cassiopeia, etc. You just played Vel'Koz. Nobody else is playing Vel'Koz. Can we expect more weird picks from you? And if yes, which ones?
well, always like my teammates were always joking about like I should pull off like the Aurelion Soul, right? and then they were actually like talking about should like Christian Palafox actually should go bottom lane support, and I just play mid Aurelion Soul, or I should just play support Aurelion Soul and see what happens. So I mean, like it's definitely fun to talk about those things, but like maybe at some point, you know, it might actually become a strat, and people have to ban it.
That's really cool. I want to see that.
And I've got my last question. It's been, you know, not too much time for your team to play together. But after the first few games here in this week, what do you think of your new teammates there on Golden Guardians Academy?
I really like it. I really like the players, obviously, but like the environment here is like just so much better, and I feel like we're actually improving, and also like at the same time, it's like I'm enjoying my work, you know. So it's like so like not that stressful, and the grind is just natural. It comes natural. Like I don't have to force it because I'm just enjoying it. So I really love that environment. So I think we'll do really well.
Well, Huhi, thank you so much, and congratulations on your win today.
Thank you so much.
All right, well, we're 2 games down, but we're just getting started here. Coming up next, we'll see how Echovox Academy do against Team Liquid Academy. Don't go too far.
Got rid of the ward. Maxi's in trouble.
Gets ignited, that's the stun, and that's easy. First blood, no flash, does get the knockback with Darshan. Gonna find that stun into the wall hard. Gonna follow up.
Such as the case with Darshan and Engo. You get the Poppy strong, case has no kill pressure.
Really nice solo kill from Palafox. Engo gonna be the target, will be shut down by Palafox. Hard gonna get the next kill. Trumpet diving in, but he gets stunned instantly by Darshan.
on. Keep moving on. And they say I have a grim sense of humor.
Well, welcome back, League fans, for Game 3, where Echo Fox's and Team Liquid's Academy teams are about to square off. Echo Fox Academy have shown a shakeup in their roster as a couple of LCS members will be taking to the Rift today.
That's right. They've got Phoenix and Apollo playing in, so these guys had an amazing end of split. Last LCS split, they just won, I think it was 5 games in a row, made it to the quarterfinals. Almost beat TSM as well. So this team was on fire, and now they're here facing Team Liquid Academy, who, well, they've always been great.
Yeah, they've been a solid squad in their own right, despite never earning a title, Crumbs, which
They were so close.
they were so close. Finalists, of course, around in last summer. Braden is kicking back in, and even though they lost to the champs, we are very much top 3 in Academy.
Yeah, and we haven't seen them play yesterday. So this will be the actual first match
That's
that we
true.
get out of Team Liquid. So we have no idea what to expect out of them except the best of Academy.
And they're also kind of looking to get things, back in line now that Viper has left and gone to FlyQuest to play in the LCS. Jumping right into the rosters, however, we're going to start things on the blue side with Echo Fox Academy. In the top lane, Lolo. In the jungle, Panda. Mid, Phoenix. Bot, Apollo. Support, Phil. And their coach, Mabry.
And opposite them on the red side, it's Team Liquid Academy with Jenkins in the top lane, Mike Young in the jungle, Insanity in the mid lane. Your bot lane is Shoryu, and to support, Matt.
And again, no changes at all, actually, from this last spring. Again, with Viper leaving, but that was at the end of last year. Again, why is that so tough to remember? Leaving last year, up with FlyQuest. So Team Liquid saying, you know what? We're happy with our team. We're happy with kind of the direction they've been taking. Obviously, their main team is doing very, very well. So we'll see what the Academy.
Oh, I bet the main team has been trickling some lessons down over to Academy. Last split, we saw the general manager of the main team go down and actually coach Team Liquid towards the very end of the split. So I think that there's a lot of crossover between Academy and LCS, especially for Team Liquid.
Well, at least today, Yuumi continues to be 100% banned on the blue side.
That's right, and it's because no one wants to first pick and just give it away. It's so obvious, and it presents a challenge that says, all right, what do you have against Yuumi? Personally, I have no idea what you pick against Yuumi, because it's about the synergy, but still, no one wants to take that leap of faith. Not this early on in the split where you don't need to take crazy risks.
Well, there's also Aurelia and Tarek and Rise all banned away, so TL Academy will take the Sona Tarek off the board, despite, again, recent Sona Tarek showing being very unsuccessful.
No one's won with it recently. No one's won with it at MSI, no one won with it at Collegiate, no one won with it here. I think that it's fallen out of flavor. I don't even think you have to nerf it. I think people just got bored of playing it because it's not that exciting to play.
And I mean, if you can't get off the ground, it's really not very good.
Yeah. And I mean, most people playing Sona are 80 carries that don't even like having Sona support them in the first place. So now you're putting them, exactly. So now you put them there. We're good to see it gone. Akali gone as well, but Silas still remains up. Will Fox Academy take this pick?
Ooh, Aatrox up as well.
You got to flex this one, though. The value in the Aatrox we've seen from Collegiate is in flexing it into the jungle as well. So Panda better be prepared if Lurlur is not going to have a good matchup there.
That will leave the obvious Silas pick there for TL Academy, and Xayah also going to get collected as well.
If it's in the top lane, we've seen the Aatrox have a positive matchup into Silas, at least from Collegiate experience. So I think that we're probably looking at a Silas in the mid lane, which seems to be the better place for him for the most exceptionally flashy plays. Whereas top lane Silas is more of a, oh, leave him on an island, but that's just not what you want to do. He can impact the map so well, especially early on. The heals that we saw in last game were just out of this world.
That's the biggest thing for me. When you can't get out of your lane and try and steal a bunch of different ultis, Silas really doesn't do as much in the early game. So we'll see. Flexibility always valuable in a champion, so some pretty standard picks here to kick things off. Also, Kai'Sa will make her first appearance for today's broadcast, at least here in Academy, and Rakan will get stolen away. They'll take Kai'Sa Rakan.
That's right, Rakan cheating on Xayah for this time around, but she will have Galio alongside her. She'll remain ever guarding, as with a little gargoyle next to her side. This is a very difficult lane to gank as well. Xayah with Galio, so much setup. You get chain taunted into the Feather Storm, really obnoxious. And if Xayah gets jumped on, she can ult, and then Galio will drop on top of her, making sure that by the time that her untarget ability fades, Galio's knock-up is there to pick up the scraps and keep people locked down.
Well, fans continue here in Phase 2 as Olaf gonna get taken away for the second game in a row. Azir also joining that, so Phoenix is pretty well known around these parts, so don't want to play against that one.
I want to keep tracking the Olaf bans on red side, because last game we saw Golden Guardians do the exact same thing, and they crushed that game, so clearly they were doing something right here. And with 2 games back-to-back, Olaf being banned, something must be happening in scrims where Olaf is just popping off.
Yep, Nico and Cannon both continuing to eat Phase 2 bans as well, so there'll be the 2 bans on the Fox side. As TL Academy lining up pick number 4 here.
And this is definitely the jungler. You want to save that Silas until the very end, and you flex the Jarvan. Super standard combination. I think it's the first combo that we saw with Galio that is still around. Galio ults on top of a Jarvan that has ulted, and you are in some deep trouble.
Yeah, we saw the throwback, which was the, actually Rek'Sai instead, but still similarly good aggressive jungler, one that Mike Young has played it countless times. But we did see Rumble Jarvan already, which is kind of the old classic. Now the current classic feels like Galio Jarvan, but Rek'Sai Jarvan fit into just about any team comp. Good, solid, aggressive jungler with engage.
It's all about following up quickly enough. That's really what it is, because Jarvan or Rek'Sai, they can't withstand the front line for too long. So as long as you can follow them up right away when they get the knock-up, it's all fine. The problem always happens that nobody follows up quickly enough, and that's why Jarvan ends up melting. He ends up looking terrible, but it can happen with Rek'Sai as well. She just has that ultimate to buy some time, but if she's not careful, she will get deleted, as we've seen in Game 1 between Clutch Gaming and Cloud9.
Well, there's Syndra for Fox Academy in the mid there for Phoenix, potentially up against the Silas. We'll see what Insanity does want to pick. But they're thinking about something here for Panda. Instead, he'll take Sejuani, so no buy this go-round.
Syndra is pretty good against Silas because you can't really get value out of stealing Unleashed Power. You don't have orbs on the floor, so you're just shooting like 2 little balls at somebody else, not making much of an impact. But in the top lane, speaking of impact, we've got Kled.
Why have I seen this matchup more than once in the last 2 weeks?
Right? Collegiate saw Kled going off like crazy. Everyone was playing Kled.
All right, I like it. Jenkins looks like TP for now, and I think that will hold here in Academy because you do want the pressure in the side lanes, but certainly a very volatile top lane matchup between Aatrox and Kled.
He's great at being decisive. I think that's why we see him, right? He's mechanically difficult, so that means that his ceiling is really high. You can get a lot of value if you can outplay your opponents, but more than that, in the team fights, you press R and it's really a Sivir all on steroids because everyone goes in really fast and you guarantee the Kled weaving around, knocking somebody down.
All right, well, going to be a fun one. Certainly interesting to see what happens for the rest of Echo Fox throughout the weekend as we move into LCS as well, because with Phoenix Apollo playing down here, I wonder if they'll be moving anyone up for week 1, but that is all wild speculation, so we'll watch this game instead.
And we're just going to have a nice and easy start. Remember that we saw Sejuani. He was super popular in Collegiate as well, so it looks like these teams have been taking notes from that league, and Sejuani won, I believe, every game over there.
Yes.
And that's because the decisiveness of her engage is unparalleled, works amazingly with melee champions such as the Aatrox, proccing multiple stuns in a fight. I don't think there's any other champion that can actually keep so many people locked down at once because there is no cooldown on the permafrost. As long as the 4 stacks are hit, she can keep proccing stuns.
You can see some defensive positioning here from Phil. Matt also hiding in the brush, but looks like no invades. No real deep vision going to be placed here at level 1, so nothing crazy happening right now. Interesting to see Apollo with the cleanse, but very common against Galio in particular, wanting to make sure you don't get locked down. And Comet there for Insanity is actually quite different, and this is a player that mixes things up, not just in his picks, certainly loves to play the likes of Karthus, which you saw a lot last split, and has a pretty unique champion pool, but can make some unconventional choices as well.
That's a rare one, the comment onto the Silas. So I want to see how he fares against Phoenix that's carrying Ignite. So Insanity now up against a LCS mid laner here who just had a really great run. So he's going to meet his maker.
Phoenix dodging around and throwing out Qs. Of course, being a range champion, Phoenix can try and abuse his range advantage in the early levels here.
Very nice. Nice little sidestep out of Phoenix, continuing to hit those orbs. Ding's level 2, and with the Ignite, Insanity does have to run back.
Yeah, Phoenix has stun as leveled as well, so wanting to get very aggressive potentially here in the early stages. We'll check in with Panda and Mike Young, who have started on opposite sides of the jungle. Mike Young gonna path towards top here after taking the blue. And same story there for Panda, but of course he's on the bottom.
Identical jungle routes, except they're mirrored. You've got a blue start into Wolves, into Red Buff, and then into the Krug. So both junglers will ding level 3 off of that, and it's just interesting to see that that seems to be the new standard for a jungle route, because you hit level 3, you get the maximum experience with your Krugs, and then you're going to be able to go for a cheeky little gank, wait about 10 seconds, Scuttle Crab is up, and everything is all right, because there's no crazy fight that you need your Lanius to collapse for.
Yeah, don't worry. Battle Crab is still very much around. Just happens a little later now. As a reminder, we are on patch 9.10. Bottom lane here, Apollo and Phil. Interesting to see them break up the band. Apollo and Hardcore, I think, are the current longest-standing bot lane in LCS.
Yeah, they came in from playing together on Team Envy and then on Fox Academy. Had a lot of success, continuing to improve every time. And
Phoenix Ignite, that might be a kill. Looking for the flash, perhaps. Gets the last auto down, and that's enough. Phoenix commits everything and grabs first blood.
Lots of damage over time out of him between Airy, Ignite, and Corrupting Potion. It's way too much for Insanity to stay in that lane, and that's the power of Syndra, one of the strongest lane bullies in the game. She burns a flash, which might be the only window that Mike Young has to exploit that lane, because Rek'Sai with flash should be able to find an angle onto a Syndra.
See Insanity also using his own second summoner, that is the teleport there, to try and keep things a little bit more even, but Phoenix just played this beautifully.
Well, the minion wave is still kind of favoring Phoenix. They're all aggroed onto Insanity. Look at that, those two little casters still going on him, and then connects to stun, waits for the Q to be back up there, and a nice little sidestep to get out of that chain of Silas. Make sure he doesn't take any unnecessary damage in that trade.
Goes back, opens up a Dark Seal Boots and a Fairy Charm. So not too many more combat stats, but clearly confident in his ability to poke out the lane there with Airy.
Oh, it's all laning here. When you go Dark Seal after your Corrupting Potion, you're looking for some fighting in the mid lane. And with the wave pushing in, let's see if Panda can even find Insanity. If he can chain us down, here we go.
Beautiful stun from Phoenix. There's the follow-up, slow lands, Permafrost gonna proc, and that's gonna be second blood over to Phoenix once again.
Very nice gank timing. The minion wave is crashing, which forces Mike Young to come in and soak up the wave, which frees up pressure for the rest of the map. They understood that Insanity did not have flash, and that is just as easy as 1, 2, 3. Sejuani, too much CC combined with Syndra, and now she's going to be hitting level 6 way before Insanity, which is going to make for another opportunity to gank, to the point where they might even just dive, because Ignite will be back up.
And now Phoenix has a Doran's Ring, which he did not have the last time I looked at his items. So, talked about, wanting to really play for lane. This is maybe the most lane investment you can have.
And he's still going to need all of this because Sylas continues to become a crazy laner. Even if he falls behind, he has so much sustain. Here we go. Waiting for Phoenix to ding 6. A really nice Scryer's Bloom out of Mike Young to spot Panda out. They will be fighting over that Vision Ward in the bottom lane, but Galio had priority.
Yep, so did Insanity with the wave building up. So Phoenix just plays back and collects the rest of the CS. Insanity at least doing a nice job keeping even on CS for now, but looks like a roam bottom lane here as Insanity wants to get out of this lane.
Are they thinking about diving this?
They're going to go into Panda at least, just sitting in the Krugs on top of a ward. Mike Young going to grab that kill.
That looked way too easy. Panda not respecting that Insanity had just left the lane. And that Mike Young was just in this area not too long ago. They should have thought that maybe they were on the hunt because Mike Young was a level up on Sejuani. He did not waste any time going for ganks. He kept power farming, and that shows with a 14 CS lead in the jungle.
Also mid lane, Phoenix finally gets a CS lead after Insanity leaves. Although Sylas will continue to collect creeps as TL going to take that bottom lane pressure that they got from the roam and the general push and look to take this Infernal Drake away nice and simply as well.
Yeah, really well-timed conversion. Sejuani was not there, no threat of a steal. And now the next one is going to be a Cloud, so fighting is going to be deterred around Dragon for a while. But this Dragon is going to be huge for the side of Team Liquid Academy when you have a Rek'Sai, a Kled, Sylas, and even the Zaya. Everyone gets bonuses out of this one.
Probably they're going to cancel the back out of Phil. Going to go ahead and take the rest of that back as Apollo returning to lane now with a BF sword completed. Shoryu does need to take his recall as well, as Insanity will also receive the donation of the blue buff there from Mike Young.
Very generous, giving away a blue buff this early on. A lot of times junglers will just take it to keep up farming to make sure that they can stay ahead 1 or 2 levels to their counterpart. But Mike Young, already being level 6, I don't think he's too preoccupied. I think that securing the dragon, getting that kill onto the jungler is more than enough to reassure him that he's doing a good job.
Phoenix will also get the first or the second blue as that rotates back around. So I think mostly just some pushing back and forth here, as Insanity doing a nice job staying afloat here in the lane despite all the pressure that Phoenix has.
And look at the itemization that Insanity has gone for. Rushing Mercury Treads, really smart item. Against Sejuani, it's great, and against Syndra, it's even better. All the magic resist you need to make sure you get out of all those nasty CC chains so that you can actually answer back and get a chance at using your healing abilities to try to turn things around.
Yep, again, just respecting the power of the Syndra. As Panda going to path back towards his own red buff. We did briefly see top lane there. Jenkins has a little under a wave lead with that teammate helping him push in, but with that counter pick, not too surprising there for the Kled, as haven't seen too much action in that 1v1 so far. Although Jenkins now going to roam down for some vision. Might be trying for a dive here, but is going to get the ward down at minimum.
Really smart vision there. Having the control ward in the blue buff and an entrance from the mid into the top side means that Panda can't really enter this side of the map without being spotted, which means that he has to be elsewhere. He's in bottom, but Matt's engaging.
Knock up onto Phil, who's trying to dance back around, but can't find it. Matt now with the on-the-spot knock-up does clip Panda. Mike Young instantly follows up with his own knock-up as the Featherstorm committed. Wasn't needed, but that's enough for 2 kills there for TLA.
And that is Matt and Shoryu pulling the trigger right away, knowing they had more than enough damage. A really good ultimate from Matt to make sure that not only Panda doesn't engage, but that they can counter-engage by continuing to hit him with the knock-up and Mike Young flashing in. Panda's died twice and hasn't even burned his flash a single time.
And that's going to be almost 3 plates as well here for TLA. Actually, I think the minions will tick the 3rd one over. They do. As Shoryu and Matt collect a big amount of bonus gold there.
Panda.
Oh, they're going to do it again.
No, Apollo!
No flash. Oh, he does have flash from Matt, but actually didn't want to commit with the flash and cleanse up there for Apollo. A cute move there from TLA's duo lane, but does not work out this time.
It's part of the weakness you have when you lane without a heal. One of your laners has cleanse. It's a selfish summoner spell, so you can't save anybody else with that. This is a matter of, can we get out of lane without dying? And so far, 50% of that is true, because one guy is down.
As we'll watch this one again, Matt just knew the timing here.
Sejuani was coming, so that's why Apollo and Phil felt comfortable, but immediately locking down the Rakan is way too much, and Shoryu hits a really nice feather call to lock him down even further. And you see that the knockups there were amazing, and the second that Panda gets tagged, he knows that it's not a good time to flash because Mike Young can always follow with his ultimate. It's just unfortunate that he hasn't had a chance to burn his flash. I think that he didn't think he'd be clipped by the edge of Matt's ultimate.
You can see a bit of vision battling there happen as Panda backs down to the bottom half of the map. Phoenix now also rotating his way down, so that will force the bottom lane away.
Well, Phoenix is getting mad. He's been winning his lane, and now everything is bleeding, and he hasn't been able to do much about it. So trying to look for an opportunity to get a run, but the itemization continues to be really stacked against him. There's 3 Merc Treads on the map now.
And Lost Chapter is helping kind of, again, get this push happening and get himself out of the lane, but Phoenix's roam not successful there in the bottom half as Mike Young does get the Rift Herald. TLA keeping things close, actually up in objectives and about 500 gold here in this early game. So despite how well Phoenix is doing in mid lane, you can see he's about 800 gold ahead of Insanity. Needs to try and look to move that lead somewhere else, or have the rest of the map come to him. As Phil is joining up with Panda here behind the lane.
They're looking for something mid lane, and they have yet to show Phil. He just revealed himself, and it looks like it's all based around this dragon. But this team needs Apollo to help him do the dragon. So it's a bit of a tricky situation when you clear out all the vision, but you can actually not threaten to go for it. So Team Liquid just walks right up. Okay, you clear the vision, but it's ours whenever we want. We have lane priority.
And Silas, of course, even when behind, can always steal a critical ulti. So Insanity was able to grab the Sejuani ult there, which will help if any sort of fight does erupt around the Drake pit.
So the Rek'Sai will hand off blue to Silas once, hoping to secure pressure into the mid lane, which should free him up to make some moves around the map. And the move that is most pressing for Mike Young right now is going to be utilizing Rift Herald. You need to get value out of that one before 14 minutes. You can time it really well. That might even net you first Rick. So where does Mike Young choose to use his ability? Still, this dragon takes too long and they can't set up anywhere else. He's going to miss out on a lot of gold.
Matt at least clearing out the vision, so saw a lot of this in playoffs, especially for TLA. Really good using their kind of more veteran players in Matt and Mike Young to just move around the map and make stuff happen. A pretty well-drilled team. They will take the card drake for themselves and see if Mike has found
Mike.
Spot for the Rift Herald.
Let's find that Rift Herald use. I think he wanted it in bot. Yep.
Channel up, Matt gonna force Phil away. Sure, you already had the wave pushing in, so well-timed there for TLA. Even more gold and give it over to the bottom.
Oh, what? There's like no plates here. This was so unnecessary. He should have gone to the mid lane. Oh. Look at that.
Hate to see it.
There's 5 plates in mid.
5 plates on the tier 2 as well. Oh no, there's not. Only the outer turrets have plates.
Oh,
take it all back.
That was not optimal. But they at least get first brick, so it's something. I just don't think that's where Rift Herald should have been used. Look at that. 3 delicious plates, just ready to be eaten right up. He's just using extra.
Yeah, that was
to
time
run out. Yeah, don't worry about that. He wasn't actually looking for a play.
Doesn't get the plate either, as they'll time out in seconds. But still, big gold boost to the bottom half of the map for TLA. Show you with the first item done. Now, the second is kind of the big winner there. As Jenkins is late a trap here for Lolo.
They're gonna gank him. They might even commit Matt's ultimate for this.
Jenkins in. There's Matt's ulti, like you mentioned. Bear drop on a rope is gonna connect. Kled thinking about the world, and the on is going to deter them.
There is no wave, so they can't immediately push for anything. But hey, they at least burned Lorelor's ultimate and his flash, so he's gonna be a lot weaker now.
Gonna take the recall and move himself down to the bottom half of the map where things have swapped up. You can see Apollo and Phil plus Panda have all made their way here to the top outer turret.
This lane went really well for Team Liquid, so they have no problem being matched by Apollo and Phil once again, because they know they're going to be able to secure some plates here. So, well, plates have already gone. They're going to be able to secure tower damage, which will eventually lead to the tower, pressure on the map, and then they can spill that over into the mid lane. That's really the big honcho, the big objective.
Matt's going to find Phil here, but again, no real counter opportunities there for Fox Academy because Mike Young and Insanity continue to stay glued together. Impressed by Insanity despite the 2 early deaths in his lane. Just, saying, you know what, I don't need it. I can get out of lane and roam, which has certainly been a hallmark of his playstyle for basically his entire tenure in Academy.
It's a good trait for a player to be able to fall behind and still make an impact on the other side of the map. Yes, he's not going to be able to bully his lane, but he's going to be able to help out his lanes to at least rotate in Fog of War, put pressure on the map that way, and that makes a world of difference because... But first... Oh.
Yeah, good detective work from Lolo, actually. Jenkins had a nice angle for a potential dive onto Phoenix, but Lolo roamed into the jungle, found the Kled, and forced him out.
That's a tough one, because it's really hard to dive Syndra just running straight at her. You always want to have some element of surprise, members coming from different angles so that you don't get stun locked or one-shot, especially if you have to take tower shots. Kled is really good at that, but let's say Kled goes in and Silas just gets stunned and walks away. Kled is done for.
TLA continuing to play pretty patiently here. Slowly building up gold now, up to 2,000. Certainly a bit of a pace change from our first 2 games. But TLA still playing kind of that controlled, clinical style that we saw them excel at in spring.
And here we go. They have top lane completely theirs. This should be more than enough time to secure the objective. But there's 4 members out of Fox Academy rotating. Do they plan on defending this afterwards?
Demolish there from Matt, able to help polish off the turret. And Insanity again, roaming around with that Cloud Drake for a bit of extra speed burst. Doesn't look like Fox are doing much other than just watch the turret fall away.
So that was actually a really sick play that is on a macro level, huge. Because you just saw that Kled, whose bottom lane, rotates to mid, and then the mid laner rotates to top. So you fill in the gaps that each member is leaving behind to apply pressure on another specific part of the map. So they go and send 4 members top, but Kled fills in for mid. So when Syndra rotates, she's now missed out on the wave of CS because Kled has shoved bottom and got to shove the mid lane. So that is Team Liquid being very synchronized in their pushes here, and it shows as now they're about 2,000 gold up with kills being relatively even.
And we don't always see this, between Academy teams and their LCS counterparts, but in a lot of ways, TLA plays the game a lot like Team Liquid. I mean, the quality of play is obviously different, but like the same discipline and like methodical approach to playing the game is, I think, echoed in the LCS team as well.
Looks up to Big Brother.
Infrastructure working out well. As Echo Fox trying to find some sort of proactive move. This is nice here onto the Drake. The Kled ulti already started off here. That's going to force them right off the objective. And Jenkins says, thanks for the leash. Matt's going to get the taunt off. Only finds one. The front side though, Phil in the back. Looking to try and make it happen. Troll you with a Feather Storm out. Going to find the root, but Apollo dives in and does find the assassination with Phoenix. Able to finish it off with the ulti. Jenkins dead as he cannot quite remount. And Fox finally win a fight.
That fight looked so messy, but the thing that made it exceptionally difficult for Fox and for Team Liquid is that it was in a straight line. Kled just ran straight in there, and when you're up against a Syndra, you're gonna get hit by every single of her ability. So let's see how this all started off, because Fox immediately says, let's get that dragon. We know that there's no vision here. And Team Liquid, they charge in right away. They don't know what's going on. So Mike Young is waiting for his team to get in there, but they stop at the dragon. Mac goes in, but a 3-man stun out of Phoenix, and then the great turn from gets everybody locked down. Sure, you're not doing any damage. You so much to the targets that don't deal damage. There was just no way to stay in this fight without having to wait your cooldowns out. They lose, and they lose it big.
And Jenkins, 2 very accurate bear traps there. Able to find the ace that led into the Infernal there for TLA as Phoenix pops the watch just to donate Troy the kill instead.
Not sure why you would ever use stopwatch there. If that's actually a really poor use of stopwatch, because it's not a you can't get that one back until you complete the item. And as you can see, he's super far from it. He doesn't even have Fiendish Codex or the arm guard, so I'm going to question that one. He should have accepted death there.
Does not, and instead TLA continue to push themselves a little bit further ahead in gold, up to 3,000 up now.
Yes, with 2 Infernals now and a Mountain Dragon up next. That next one is going to dictate a lot of what's to come in this game. That Mountain Dragon means anybody can go for a Baron the second that they have it, and if you don't have enough vision and you can't get it quickly enough, the objective is already in the hands of the enemy.
TLA going to continue to play, again, that same objective-focused style. They'll clear out the vision, and they'll try and find the engages as Jenkins hunting through the jungle, but on top of a ward right now. We'll find the control there south of the red and at least clear that one away. But don't expect this game to erupt anytime soon. Again, TLA very disciplined as a team.
We'll see about that because the Scuttle Crab has just faded and there is a control ward in the Baron pit. If they can somehow draw enough people out into the mid lane, Team Liquid might just start that Baron. And they get a Scryers out of that, so it looks like Fox is respecting that Baron can be taken. But as long as Shoryu stays on the map, they will know that there is no Baron shenanigans happening. Because you just can't do it without the AD carry.
Have to re-push mid. Jenkins going to go back down and force pressure there into the bot lane. So starting to, force Fox to ask the question of, are they on Baron yet? TL, again, very patient in this situation.
And they continue to check, and that's because you've got the Kled pushing the bottom lane. He's more than happy doing this. He might be able to even start hitting the turret once his own wave crashes. But it does mean that Fox, having all their members nearby, or at least closer to collapse, they can start pushing up and clearing out that vision, regaining some of that control so that the Baron dance is not as obnoxious as it is.
Insanity starting off the crab. That's going to get smote away by Panda as Mike Young has found a very deep flank here. Sweeping all the way around just to make sure there's no vision. Jenkins continuing to pressure down the bot side with his teleport now back up. I think a lot more threatening, and he will get a turret out of the deal here.
That's that split pushing Kled power. He's really annoying here, having that Titanic Hydra that lets him clear out minion waves in a matter of seconds. Still has that TP to collapse, and I think the teams have given up on fighting around Baron until they have that mountain, because this is, after all, just Barkley. No one's actually going to go ahead and try to solo it. No one's doing that just yet, so they know that they're just toying with vision and looking for the opportunity for somebody to slip up. But because there's just nothing at stake, no one's really going to be making such a large mistake.
Shoryu, though, continuing to gain in strength. In fact, both marksmen are actually looking pretty powerful. Third item done there for Apollo, finished up his Hurricane, and it was already 3 done for Shoryu with the Infinity Edge completed. Now the BF Sword on top of that as well.
This is the power of that Kaisa with a completed Ginsu's Rage Blade. This Baron will melt. The teleport is in. They know.
Yeah, and the Baron not long enough for them to really finish, but they are going to commit a little while longer. Insanity still has the stolen ulti. Clips Panda with the slow pop, but Phil going to be the target. Finds a double charm, going to dance back towards his team, and Phil's out of there as the counter Sedrol is going to find Insanity.
That's not the greatest use of the Sejuani ultimate. They now have no way of really...
Oh, what a stun by Phoenix. Cancel the flash taunt attempt there by Matt. Still,
Team Liquid gets to push up mid lane and have priority for either Baron or Dragon after this, so they're in a great spot here, and they only committed Kledo.
Insanity, actually both teleports were committed as well. So TL kind of lost a lot of their global pressure to look to get them off the Baron. But they'll come back around, they'll clear it out. They'll actually aggro it there. Matt with the words of wind, not too sure what he thought there. Oh, getting stolen. Insanity now going to do his best Rakan impression. Matt gonna find the knock up on the Panda. They get the taunt. Sejuani pretty tanky, Matt not that tanky. They'll dive back in though. There's the ulti out of Rakan, stolen by the silent. Show you what a killing spree. Gonna take down Phil. Matt gets out with his own ulti as Lolo forced into stasis with the World Ender on. Will die as his ulti timed out in the stopwatch.
And that's the same thing that we've seen all game long. Fox is trying to take a fight, lacking ultimate. Sejuani did not have her ult, and to boast, they engage onto Gallia, using so many abilities on the tankiest guy, the one that deals the least amount of damage. Team Liquid is wiping the floor with Fox Academy, punish them to the maximum as now they retreat to the Baron.
Nice dunk there from Young following the Kai'Sa as Insanity dove with his stopwatch, and now Jenkins onto Phoenix, Bear Trap procs, and see you later, Syndra.
That looked way too easy from Team Liquid, identifying that it was the right time to fight. The second that so much was committed onto Gallia, they knew that the carries were going to be safe and A-OK. This is a Baron, and it's going to be a Mountain Dragon as well.
Might even be an inhibitor tower falling in the top half because Jenkins is sticking around to do the damage. 10 seconds up to Apollo, but no one up soon enough to save that inhibitor turret. In fact, the Baron up minions already working on the inhibitor, so watch this one again.
So Fox immediately goes on to Matt, and Phoenix uses his stun onto Matt as well. There's no way they can counter-engage it. Rakan has no ultimate either. How on earth were they going to take this fight? Look at that. They're still focusing Matt and Mike Young while the carries are running down Lorelo, have run down Phoenix. It was just all too easy. Way too many abilities were lacking out of Fox.
Also, Jenkins killed Lolo out of stasis with the pocket pistol, which is always fun to see, but another great follow-up stun there from Insanity, who dives straight in for Apollo. And with Mike Young following through, it's a really easy team fight win. Plus a nice clear ult here on Phoenix for the ace.
We could use a flying squirrel Rex ice game, which he ults in. Or maybe Superman, who knows. If we can turn Fizz into a dog, I'm pretty sure we can do anything.
Insanity has stolen Sejuani ult once more. And TL is trying to break a few more inhibitor turrets here. Jenkins also going to return to the top half of the map to get those minions pushing in and really turn on the 3-lane pressure.
Yeah, and there's no one on Fox's side that can really hunt anybody down. It would only be Lorelo, but Mike Young has tunnels, he's got the Baron. If he gets caught by Lorelo, it's his own doing. So this Baron threat is going to be really nasty out of Team Liquid Academy, and it might just net a few inhibitors and up to the game.
Well, you see Jenkins with the GA pushing pretty fearlessly, even though the Syndra is threatening. Matt looking for the follow-up onto Apollo. Nice ult there from Insanity, but Panda going to get locked up instead. Matt able to take that kill. They'll break mid. They'll take top. And all of a sudden, War's really collapsing around Fox Academy.
They're not looking to end. They're going for the 3 inhibitors first, and then they'll go for it. That way they can maximize the chances that if they can't do it, they'll have another go at it in a few minutes.
Still a mountain as well to take once all of this stops. So 3 inhibitors down. Double supers in every wave. Gonna start sieging onto Fox Academy's base.
And 2 Infernals as well, so this one's really nasty. Having those Guardian Angels up makes it so difficult for Fox to try to look for a right engage. Who do you go on? The Sylas is always a pain. The tanks are difficult to go after, and then you've got Xayah, who has a GA as well. It's a really tall order, and one that, frankly, might be too late.
Yeah, 45 seconds here for the Baron. Still a